And you've been placed here on earth for a purpose. To change this world, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Jesus touches a leper. Have you thought for a moment what a leper has to go through? And Jesus sees a leper, reaches out and touches him. Why? Why? When he touched that leper, instead of leprosy flowing to Jesus, life flowed from Jesus to the leper. When a dead girl is brought to Jesus, instead of Jesus not touching her, because if you touch a dead person, you have to go outside the city gates. Instead of Jesus says, no, I'm going to raise her from the dead. Life flowed from Jesus into her. And you are called to that same life-giving mission. You are supposed to be life in this dying world, going to places, suffering for people who could never pay you back. That's who you're supposed to be, made in the image of Christ.
I have a friend who reached out to a Muslim student here when he was studying in the university. He accepted Christ, went back to Palestine. Family found out he was a believer, and they killed him. And that's something that still happens. It's something to think about. So there's a lot that you're asking from someone. You're telling them to not just accept God. You're telling them to give up everything you've ever believed and start a whole new way of life, and that's a lot.
What does it mean to follow Jesus if he's willing to die for people who sinned against him and I'm not? How am I a follower of Jesus? And in that moment, I realized what the gospel was. The gospel is not something that you just hear and believe. If it doesn't change your life, it hasn't hit you yet. And in that moment, I realized that this God is worth everything. This story is worth sharing with our lives. Oh, and our lives are in his hands. And if we die today, we're going to be taken care of. But there are millions, in fact, billions of people for whom that is not the case. And if we lived every second of our lives for their sakes, only then would we truly honor this God who was willing to live the life we should have lived, to die the death that we should have died.